What's up, guys? So we got a question from John Kenneth Eaton on Facebook. So I posted a picture of me, like, forcing into half guard and me showing one of my students how I, use half guard. And he says, how do you force them into a half guard and prevent knee shield or Z guard? And I said I can make a video on it. He says, if you make a video, I'll give you $1. So I'll be expecting that $1 later on, Kenneth. So to show you kind of the idea of forcing half guard, this is going to be more of a less of a technique and more of like a strategy thought, I guess you'll say, maybe a concept video. I really like to force half guard on someone rather than fighting with their full guard a lot of times. So basically the way that sometimes I'll pass is I might try to go for different passes here, open guard passes, whatever, but then if I don't feel like they're working, I'll come down and begin to force a half guard on the person. Boom. So a lot of times I'll use like that hip pin pass to where I step to the side, I'll drop right into it. Now, if I stay out like this, which I have no problem with, they'll put this knee shield in, right? And there's a lot of different things that I can do to bust this up. The big thing with the knee shield is that I don't want to be heavy on the knee shield. If you're heavy, the knee shield a lot of times works off of me like pushing into him. So if I'm sitting there trying to put a lot of pressure into him, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Whereas if I can sit back here and play grips, it's really not, there's stuff you can do for sure, but it's not as strong as if there's tension, right? It's kind of like if you look at like spider lassos, right? Put a spider lasso in. If I begin to load the spider lasso up right here, like let's say he can sweep me pretty easily. Right there, no problem, right? But with the spider lasso, put it in. If I move into it, there's tension. If I move back, it becomes very weak, okay? So there's sometimes some positions you're gonna get into where you have to understand the way that they work. And sometimes you don't want to load up into them. So if you get into a knee shield, don't load up into it. There's other stuff you can do. Now, if I'm going to force half guard and I'm really, really scared of that knee shield and I don't want it to be here, here's something I could do to get past that. So I do my hip pin. So I go hand on the hip, hand on the inside, I step to the side and I drop. Now, I need to get high up. So basically what I've got to do is I've got to get my hip up a little bit higher than his hip, right? Because that's going to prevent the knee shield. The way that I like to do this is I'll start to fight for an underhook, and I'll initially start with my forehead up under the chin. This is a really underutilized like head positioning. Like, I'm just kind of, since this video is not going to be much of a technique video, more of a concept, I'll give you some things to chew on. Get it? So from here, the head positioning in wrestling, right? A lot of times when we're on the feet, a lot of people don't think about it, but the head positioning is really important, right? So if I put my head in here to the side, if Chad tries to square up on me, he can't, right? And that's why I can do this, boom, pop, duck unders, things like that. So your head positioning is really important, okay? Come down for me again. So when I'm shooting for this half guard, I can use my head positioning to sort of dictate where his head can go and help flatten that back out. So bang, to the side, and as I'm going under, I can slide my head right up under his chin. Now here's the cool part about this. Come up into me. Right there. He's gonna have to move my head before he's gonna be able to do that. It's a strong grip. In the gym, I'm a little bit nicer with it. In tournaments, I'm not nice at all with it. And I will put that sucker straight up in here and I'll try to push their head to the mat. In the gym, typically, I'll kind of just ease up on a little bit, just try to get control. Now from here, there's different ways that we could go about this. I could begin to go across afterwards, so I could start right here and then go across in this position and begin to switch to this reverse half guard position. You'll see a lot of wrestlers do that. I love this position to pass from. Or you could begin to go in, John, the picture that you were looking at was this right here. When I get into this position, I switch my hip to the side, I put my head here. What I'm doing is I'm going really, really low here on the side. I'm keeping his head flattened out and his back flat. Don't move, Chad. Look what this does to him, right? Makes this, it's really hard for him to fight because he's flat up here, but as his hips are turning, and you can set up that basically pass right here where we slide through. So, again, there's a couple just little details there. So that's what I like to do a lot of times. I like to force half guard. When I'm playing with someone who has a really good open guard or someone who has a really good full guard, I'll start to pass to or force the half guard so I can open up things there. Now I'll play from that knee shield position, I have no problem with it. But if I want to get a little bit more up in their business and get rid of that, I'll start with that head positioning, get it up under the chin to flatten them out, get a high underhook, and from there I can either switch to that reverse half guard or I can go to that head-to-head position and start to pass to the other side with that low hip. And again, if you have any questions about those details, you can press the rewind, watch them again, or comment down below. So guys, hope you liked the video. John, thanks for the question. I'll be expecting my dollar soon. Later, guys. Hey John, I'm just kidding. I'm not expecting $1. I appreciate your question.